What's
John,
up,
do you have
everybody?
a question for Bobby?
Sure, Bobby. You obviously got to know Jamal pretty well, playing with him over the last few months. Just how have you seen him this week? Is this any different for him? Is he pretty hyped about facing the Jets, or is he just kind of treating it the same?
I think he's treating it the same. If he is treating it different, he hasn't really spoken about it. I think we just trying to, focus on one day at a time. We understand that he spent some time there, and probably want to make sure he beat them. So we'll do our best to make sure that happens.
Just what have your impressions have been? I know you knew him a little bit before he got here. But what have your impressions of him been since he?
He's been great, man. He's been a great teammate. He's been flying around making plays, playmaker, always getting sacks. The energy that he brings to the team is just something that you can't teach, and it's really good to have him on the team.
Michael Sean?
Hey Bobby, has the number of guys that were drafted ahead of you ever bothered you? I know that's some guys feel slighted where they get picked. I think it's about 46 guys that bother you ever.
It don't bother me, but it definitely was a chip on my shoulder because I didn't think that there was, 46 guys better than me. So, it's something that you uh, use as a chip on your shoulder, and constantly prove those guys wrong, prove who is still standing at the end of their career or still in the league. So that's kind of how I get back at those guys.
Are you still? Is that still a thing, or are you past that now?
It's still a thing to an extent, but it's as you get to like year 10, most of those guys not even in the league anymore, so it don't matter. I'm still kicking it.
Thanks.
Bob.
Yeah, Bobby, you guys played the run really well in the first half Sunday, and then obviously the third quarter they got a couple of big runs. Was there anything in particular? Did they change anything, or is there something going on there that kind of allowed those to happen? Or
No, I think it was just bad eyes on our part. Just getting cut off in some of our run schemes. So I think it was more so us than anything. I think we just had a moment in the third quarter where we didn't perform as well as we should have, and end up hurting us. They end up getting those two scores on those drives, and we just got to play better. But I do feel like we're making improvements, and we're getting better every week. So that's something that we could build upon. We just got to make sure it sustains the whole game.
Tim?
Hey Bobby, a little bit off topic, but until this past weekend, you guys hadn't put anybody on the COVID list this season. I'm just wondering, why do you think you as a team have been so successful? Has it been the messaging? Has it been the protocols the team has put in place? What are some of the things that you see as reasons why?
I think it's a combination of all those things. I think the protocols, probably start there, but I think it's the discipline, the understanding, the guys kind of buying in on this is just a weird season. And so some of these things that, we're up against this year is maybe things that we may or may not want to do, but that we have to do to not only make sure we good, our family good, but everybody else's families. And so I think we've done a good job of just focusing on that, and the Seahawks have done a great job of, making sure even if we have family members or anything like that are coming in, they can get tested. And I think we've done a just good job of just being mindful of doing the right thing, making the right decisions.
Jackie?
Hey, Bobby. What do you see on tape from Sam Darnold in this Jets offense?
I think they trying to get the ball out fast. I think they rely a little bit on their run game. I think that's kind of starts it off, allows them to kind of have him move around the pocket a little bit to get it to those guys. But I definitely feel like their offense starts with the run game. So if they're watching last week's film, I would be surprised if they didn't try to come out and establish the run a little bit before they start throwing the ball. But I think that's how I think he performs well. I think it's like any offense. Once the running game is good, and then you can open up the passing game. And so I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get the ball out of his hands quick. He has some playmakers that he can throw and take shots down the field, which I think they'll try. But I think this offense is going to start with the run game.
I haven't seen the practice report to see if Frank Gore's back from the concussion, but what do you see from the younger guys, the speed that Johnson and Adams had?
Um, they hit the hole really fast, and you could definitely tell they're learning, under Frank. Frank has been an amazing player, I've been fortunate enough to play him, this long in my career, and so you could definitely feel and see their running style, kind of emulate some of the things that he does, and so, he got those guys, looking and seeing the holes right, and so it's gonna be fun matchup to go against them, and hopefully he's out there.
Curtis?
Yeah, Bobby, just kind of big picture. What are you most proud about with the defense and the strides you guys have made over the last handful of weeks here and pushing your kind of level of play forward? That you're up to 7th in the league in sacks. Points per game's way down. The way you guys are playing has made a pretty big turn. What stands out to you most about that, and what are you most proud of in the way you guys have come along?
I think just kind of staying the course and just keep believing. I think there was a stretch in there where we were just, we were playing good defense, but when it got to that fourth quarter, we were giving up so many yards, and just understanding that what we were doing was working. We just have to figure out a way to sustain it over the whole game, and so I think we've done that in more stretches than we were doing in the beginning of the game. And I think everything works together. You start getting sacks, then it makes the back end not have to cover as long, and it creates juice and energy, and so I think we're just all feeding off of each other, and it's just really good to see. And I think we have 4 games left to take that up another notch.
Greg?
Hi, Bobby. I get the feeling you know exactly how many of those 46 picked before you were still in the league. Is that true?
I don't know the exact number. I know roughly. I know all the linebackers, though, majority of them. So I know the linebackers for sure. But, it's something you think about. But as you get older, it still sits there. But it's like as you look up, is really nobody to hold grudges towards because they're not here. So.
When you got drafted, did you think 10 years? Was that a realistic possibility?
Truthfully, yeah. I said I was going, that's the goal was to get to 10 because you get to the league and the first thing they tell you is that, you can't make it to 3. And I was like, okay, I think I know I can make it to 3. And then, let's see if we get to 5. And then we get to 5, let's get to 10. We get to 10, let's get to 15. There's a lot of things that can, happen, whether it's injury or things like that. So you try to break that goal up. But I definitely felt like it was doable because I felt like I was going to have the discipline and the want to get it done.
Ben?
Hey, Bobby, I was wondering if you see a little bit of yourself in Jordan Brooks, and then also, just how is he taken to you and to KJ's mentorship throughout the season?
I can see a little bit, we were actually kind of talking about it the other day, just kind of like the way, we came in. Obviously, I didn't come in during a pandemic, so that's kind of throws the whole comparison out the window. But, just kind of coming in, quiet at first, want to kind of, figure out, who's in the building and how, like, where do I fit in the program and things of that nature. Coming from a semi-smaller school, I think Utah State is smaller than Texas Tech, but coming from a school that wasn't really well known for certain things, and coming in just wanted to make your mark, and I didn't start right away when I got here. I was starting on base, and I didn't start, I think, until like the 6th game. So you try to share that knowledge to them because I know when guys come in, they want to be the star that they were in college, and it just doesn't work like that. You have to learn a very complex defense, and you have to just find a way to get better every week, which I think he's doing. And, he's leaning on me and KJ a lot. I think me and KJ have both spoken that, we're an open book, and we want to give our knowledge because at the end of the day, we want to help, people feed their families. And so I think he's understanding that, listening, and he's been playing better and better every week, and I'm excited to see his growth.
Corbin?
Hey, Bobby, you mentioned obviously you've been playing against Frank Gore since you came into the league, but how incredible is it at 37 years old that he still is an effective NFL running back? And the big question a lot of people have been debating, he's been playing a long time, is he a Hall of Famer?
He has been amazing to watch. Obviously, 37 at that position, playing a running back position has just been, over the years, everybody says they don't last long. There's no way anybody can sustain that type of hitting and things of that nature, and he's defied all of that. And he's been able to do it at a very, very high level for a very long time. So I got nothing but respect to him. And to the last question, yes, I believe he is.
Joe?
Bobby, this is a random one. But for you, does what motivates you today, is it different from what motivated you in 2012?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's it. What motivates me today? I guess you could say yes and no. I think the core motivation for me is I've always wanted to make my mom proud, and so that is still there. But as you grow and you gain a family and things of that nature, now you want to make your kids proud, make your other family proud, and so I think that's kind of the thing. And then you just want to be the best of your position. You want to go out each and every day to be the best. I've always been taught like you don't go out there and just you give it everything you got, and so I wanted to leave my mark here on the field and off the field, and if I was able to accomplish that, that would have been a successful career for me. And so I'm still working towards that, but I think I'm going in the right direction.
And for all the players you've played with and seen over your career, what's more common? Players being motivated by wanting to prove those who believe in them right, or prove their haters wrong?
Haters wrong for sure. It's the easiest one because especially nowadays, everybody's a hater. Everybody has something negative to say. Especially the people that don't do what you do. It's easy for them to tell you how to do your job when they never even attempted to try to do your job. So I think it's proving people wrong is probably the biggest thing, because I think if you think about our 2012 draft class, that whole class was just about proving people wrong. So if you ask Russell, you ask myself, you ask Turb, Bruce, Jay Lane, Corey, Shrugs, all those guys, they would know. Curse, I throw Curse in there too. We got told that we couldn't do a lot of things, and whoever was saying that is not really speaking too loudly.
And yet that's not what you mentioned first, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not number one, but it's top three for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bobby.
No problem.
And last one for Bobby, Brady.
Hi, Bobby. Going back to Jordan, what are you seeing? What are some things that you're seeing him do now that you weren't seeing when he first started playing this season?
I think the confidence of, every time he plays in the game, you gain that confidence. I think that's the biggest thing. And so the things I see him doing more now is being more aggressive, coming downhill, being more decisive about his reads, trusting the things that he see and taking his chance, whether it's in the pass game or definitely in the run game. In the beginning, maybe he was trying to make sure, he was doing everything right and kind of making sure he's in the right space. And I feel like now it's more so trusting that you're in the right space, trusting you are making that right decision and just pulling the trigger. And I think that's what you saw last game. He just came downhill and, he's making a lot of good plays.
And when we first, heard about him when you guys drafted him, we heard mostly about the speed. What about the aggressiveness that he's played with recently?
I think if you watch last game's film, that's exactly what you see. You watch on a certain play in the third quarter, he came down here, hit the guard, threw him off, and then made the tackle. And so I think that's just something that I think is going to get better. There was also a play in Arizona where he was a guard was about to block him, and he kind of did this move with his shoulders where he kind of ducked underneath the guard and made the tackle. And some things like that you just don't teach. That's just natural ability. And so just trying to get him to the point where he trusts that natural ability that he has, that's in him, is going to take him a long way, and he's going to be a great player for this league.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thank you, Bobby.
Appreciate it. Take it easy.